I'm designing a Dubsado proposal in an hour, and let me set up my timer here. I hope you can see it has started. The reason why I am doing this is because I am recording a Dubsado setup tutorial at present, and I want to have custom branded proposals inside that demo account that I am using for tutorial purpose. And I want to have as many fonts built inside there as possible. So proposals are the fonts that should be like top notch design wise, and they need the maximum time. So I'm not too worried about the copy, but I am more focused on the design so that I can help whoever is watching the tutorial to take some design inspiration and to see how to easily design proposals inside Dubsado. So let's begin. So I'm investing the first 10 minutes in Canva to get colors, fonts, and some pictures. I'll look for some inspiration, and once I have that, I'll invest the next 50 minutes in designing the proposal. So this is what I've finalized. I have used colors, and I'll be using these pictures from the this brand guideline. However, I've changed the fonts because I am using the native Dubsado features for form designing. So I'll be using the native fonts that are available there, which is Cinzel and Lato. Almost done. We have 10 seconds left, so I had assigned myself 10 minutes to do this. So let's begin. I am in Dubsado now. This is the website proposal that we are going to be working on. Let's start with the header. I'm going to remove the top padding inside this design section because I like to keep the visual appeal to look like a website, a web page. So I'll start with adding a container. I don't want this logo. One full width, and this to maybe 80%. And this is where I want the boldest color from the color palette because I want to make it look exciting. That's it. And I'll add some padding. Let's say 150 and 150. Let's add a text box. Website design proposal. Center alignment. And we'll give it heading 1. I want this text to be a little bigger. I like this. And let's color it white so that it's easier for the viewer to actually read the thing. I'll add another text box after spacer, and this will say, or maybe 4 monthly. I'll save the changes as I go because Dubsado does not auto save any progress, and it's so painful when you lose progress while you're working. So once I'm done here, I want to add another container. I have decided an outline for this proposal. So I want here a little bit of text, basically for the welcome message. This container, I want 80% height. And then I also want to have some padding here. Let's say 70 and 70. I would really like it to have some color. I think this should be good. Perfect. And now some text. Now I am going to be adding some filler text here. So don't be disappointed with the copy to be center aligned. This I want to be heading 3 so that now you see we have space above and below it, and I think this is good for me. Now let's do with an introduction. I forgot to download my pictures. While the picture downloads, I'll be adding another container to add text. I want this again. I try to keep the content width to 80 or whatever you decide at one place. I try to stick to it throughout the form because I want to have enough white space, similar white space all across the form, and things not going zigzag. Looks odd, right? So here, and also let's add cent padding 70 and 70, and I want to give it a nice color. Let's see. We want to upload an image. We'll go to upload files, add file. It's in my downloads folder. The bigger the file size is, the more time it takes to get uploaded and show up here. So this is, I feel it is too big. Let me scale it down to 70. How does that look? Still, maybe I should add some more padding here. Works a little bit. 50 makes it better. I think this should be good. Let's start with container and see if we need anything else. Right there, I am PP. Perfect. Now I want project timeline. So I'll duplicate this container and I will make this container set to 1. Coming back to setting the color up, I don't want this picture, so I'll take this out. First thing I need is a text box which says my process. Changing it to, I think we want this to be 2 and center align. I think this is, no, this needs a bigger size. What's this? Perfect. Do we need, no. This looks nice. As we have a color here, let's go ahead with something light. Let's see if this is nice. Looks okay. So my process, I want to add another spacer. Oh God, let me look at time. We have 38 more minutes. I want to add a container here because let's say we have 4 steps. So instead of 2, we have 4 steps, and I want to have another container inside it. Let me bring it outside so like it's easier for you to understand and comprehend what I'm doing. So I'll keep this container as 1, and then I'll add a text box with, let's say, the steps. Now that we have our text here, this is what I'll do. I'll go to this container. I'll update this content with 200 and 100 both, but I will now add padding to all 4 sides. So let's say 10, 10, 10, and 10. This will do 2 things. Once I'm done adding all 4 things here, this will give space between these 4 containers because it shouldn't look cluttered, right? And now what I'll do is I'll duplicate it for all like 4 things, and then I'll update the copy. Reason number 2 why I did that is because I want to have space under and above each section, because in the mobile view, it gets all jammed up and there is no literal like difference. Whenever you are also designing, make sure you are keeping in mind the mobile view, and if it's too difficult to like think about it while you're designing it, maybe have the link open inside your phone and keep looking at it, and if it is looking good, because clients can open this up in the phone as well, right? Step number 2, get onboarded. 3, strategy call. These are not exactly the steps that fit well, but I have something to write here, so I'll add this. It's too long, but let's keep it this way. And then website design and review. So what I do when I'm designing forms for clients as well, I do write all of the copy and I paste it here, and now I see in my tablet, my desktop and my phone, how does it look on all 3 formats. So once I have checked it and I see like the text is, some text is too long, some text is too short, so then I come in and I work on the copy if needed. I also use ChatGPT here because I'm not a copywriter, and I try to make the copy almost around like similar in terms of sentence length and the height it takes inside the columns. Make sure to save your form. We don't want to lose our progress. So this looks good. I'm sorry, please don't judge me because I am not good with naming colors and fonts. So I'll say purple even if it is lavender. Oh no, I'll duplicate this container, and this is the place where I will add the main packages and add-ons. I don't need 4 containers. I'll use 2. Let's say we have 1 main package and 1 mini package. I'll add an image first and bring the copy down, and let's delete this and duplicate this section. Perfect. Now select the package. Let's say mini package. I'll go in and this I need. First, let's bring it all in center. I want the text to be this. Add more space. I don't want package name here because I want it to be like in the font a little bigger. Maybe I can do that. Let's keep it. Then I also want to add descriptions. Let's see how does that look. Better. We need more space. Looks good. And once we are done, so I am short on time, so that's why I'm not going to like work on writing the copy here for the bullet points. I'll do it with it. I'll manage with it. But if you are designing it and you're not short on time, just make sure that it looks good and appealing inside this container. We need to change our package from mini to signature. We should increase the size of this also. Let's say 20. How does that look?
Nice.
Done. We need pictures, so I'll get those pictures as well. The time is 30 minutes 37 seconds. I think we can make it. So I have downloaded the pictures. This here and this here. We need to resize it, and now I really feel this needs some color change. I am forgetting main packages and add-on. So I am simply duplicating this, and I'll say I don't want pictures here. Does it? And maybe we have 3 packages. 1, 2, and do we have any more packages created here? No. So I'll probably repeat just this one. It's a duplicate. Add-on 1. The price. This $500. This will not make sense. I just want to give you an idea of what it looks like. Let me actually delete the rest. Whenever I want to save the time, I only work on 1 element and then I duplicate the rest. Add-on 1, add-on 2, and add-on 3. Just for you, I am spending 2 more minutes on labeling them correctly. Done with the optional upgrades or the add-ons. And now let's work on some client testimonials. We forgot that. Or maybe this. Now I am not going to work as hard in here to get pictures, and I'll probably use the ones that are already in here. I want to have 3 testimonials. I want the container with 1 done. Great. And I will be adding on all 4 sides. Now I'll add first picture, then some space, and then text. Where did the space go? The best. And maybe I should center align it. Way better. Let's duplicate our testimonials. Change the pictures. All right. Now we have to work on the next steps. Deleting. Whenever I'm designing, even for my clients, I try to delete as much of the sample data, the filler data, the pictures, copy, packages, everything that's in there. I delete everything. I need like a clean slate to work on. Otherwise, my mind messes up. So now the last part, I deliberately try and keep this part white in background, because under here we'll have the submit button, and whatever color you'll put here, this line will come. If you will give this as yellow, pink, green, whatever color, after this container is done, there would be a white line here, white strip with the submit button, accept and next, whatever like call to action you will give. I'll show you where. So I don't want that difference. So what I do, just to remain within the limitations of Dubsado native features, I try and keep the last section white so that it seamlessly merges with the strip of the button. So now that we have your next steps, I am good with spelling, but whenever I know I am being washed, I mess up. It's too big. No, I'll work with container. Let's duplicate this, bring it down. I want to make sure yes, we have the spacer. We don't want the pictures, and this is step 1. Now I don't want this to be center aligned. Step 1, I'll delete the rest and duplicate this. Step 2 and step 3. I have 10 more minutes to complete this, and let's just fine tune it because the colors are all messed up. I'm happy with this background color. This is nice. This neon green is good. Now this is, I want something from the purple color family in here. Would this look good? Let me try it. Looks okay. Is it readable? Kind of. Yellow. And then optional upgrades. Let's give this a different color. Since like this is an optional thing, I don't want to give this a sparkly bright color. I think this should do. Main packages. I always keep the main packages selection bright. I should rephrase it and say in high contrast, because people spend the most amount of time here thinking, deciding, and I want this to be clearly visible, clearly readable. Let's give this a beautiful color. This should pop out. And then the next steps. I think we should have some place like something white in one more section to balance the whole look, and so that it does not feel like this last white section is forced. So maybe I will remove this section in here, make it white, and let's save the form and take a look. We have this. This is Dubsado Smart Field, so this will automatically populate with the client name once it's applied to a project. The main packages. This looks too big. Upgrade, client testimonials, and next steps. So I'll just take a look at it in a smaller window because most people don't use screens as wide as me. This and next steps. So you see there is this button here. I will change this button color to something else, but let's first get inside the form. And there are 2 main settings that I would make sure my proposal has, which is including a contract and including the invoice and allowing the person to select multiple packages. And I have, oh yes, the expiration date. I want to have 2 weeks after applied to project. That's it. And in the design, I will say the button should say submit. And we are good to go. We have 6.5 minutes left. Can you see this? We are almost on time. And what else do we need to do? I think we're good to go. Save and close. The only thing I would be doing is updating my button color, which is this. We are almost done, and I remember that we have still one more task left, which is giving them space to enter client details like address and stuff. So I will move this outside the container, let's say. We'll change this container to 2, and we don't want this container here because it is messing up with my alignment. Step 2, and then step 3. Just delete these containers. Why is it left out? Perfect. And now we want them to enter their details. We'll need short answer fields here because this is the information we will map with Dubsado smart fields. So for example, client first name, we'll say first name. Make sure it is marked as required. Then short name again. Client last name, email address. Make sure you are mapping the field, you're connecting them, the right fields, and you are done. The reason why I am asking these details in here is because whatever fields we are asking the client to fill in here, they'll be mapped inside Dubsado, and this is what will be reflected inside their contract and their invoice as well. So your details Dubsado already know, and from here, their details like company address, name, email address, phone number, and their communication address, this all gets tracked and linked through their client project from here, and we want it to be reflected inside proposal, contract, as well as the invoice. So now we are done. We'll make sure to save and close, and that's it. We have 5 more minutes left, so I think we did good. And I'll now duplicate this and use this as a template for the other forms that I'm designing for this demo project. But here are a few things that you should keep in mind while you are designing a Dubsado proposal or any other type of form inside Dubsado. One, do not overcomplicate the designing process. Give yourself a limited amount of time and get done with it. We can make the adjustments and fine-tuning process later, so just get done with it. 2, start with templates. So Dubsado has a great template library. You see here, template library. So it feels overwhelming. Start from a template. I don't like it because they are outdated, but it's always a good idea to not get overwhelmed and have something in place to start from. And third, once you are inside the forms, you don't have to create every form from scratch. Once you are done, once you're invested your time with designing the proposal, which needs to be perfect design-wise, all you can do is duplicate this and drag it to questionnaires, to lead capture, to sub-agreements, and now start renaming it. And the reason why I recommend doing this for all the forms except the contracts, keep the contract as minimally designed as possible. Maybe your brand color in your logo or the top container thing, because people tend to download contract and it does not look as nice with pictures and stuff. So keep your contracts as minimally designed as possible and go crazy with proposals. So that's it. If you have any questions after watching this video, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. And if you need my one-on-one help to set up or optimize Dubsado for your business, I am sharing the link to my services and packages in the description box below. And if you like this video, if you found it helpful, do like and subscribe for more such content. I am designing a Dubsado proposal in an hour. Proposals are watching the tutorial to how to easily